Mr. Speaker, in December of 2014, as leverage against the President's immigration executive order, the Republican leadership irresponsibly decided to hold hostage the 2015 funding for the Department of Homeland Security. We are now 147 days in fiscal year 2015, just 4 days away from February 28th, when the continuing resolution currently funding the department will expire. The serious consequence of inaction by the Republican leadership is that it will leave the department without the funds needed to effectively fulfill its mission of protecting our homeland. It is unbelievable that given the urgency of our national security, House Republicans continue failing to put forward a realistic plan to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Mistakenly, some Republicans believe the department is doing just fine under the continuing resolution. Some even say it's okay to let DHS funding expire. Other Republicans suggest the preliminary Texas District Court injunction, which blocks implementation of the President's executive actions on immigration, is reason enough to continue holding hostage the funding for Homeland Security. These are dangerously wrong conclusions. Secretary Johnson and agency heads have warned that if the CR is allowed to expire, national security operations will be disrupted and essential personnel will be required to work without pay. They also warn passing another CR will not address the uncertainty of being able to meet our long-term national security needs. Our national security cannot wait for the unrelated issue of the President's executive actions on immigration to work its way through the judicial process, which at best is likely to take several months. By contrast, Democrats have a responsible solution. 2 weeks ago, Appropriations Committee Ranking Member Lena Lowy and I introduced H.R. 861. It is a clean appropriations bill that funds the Department of Homeland Security for the remainder of fiscal year 2015. It is not a Democratic bill. If it were, it would more closely reflect Democratic priorities. Rather, H.R. 861 contains the precise language of the November 2014 bipartisan bill negotiated in good faith by chairs and ranking members of the House Senate Homeland Security Appropriations Subcommittee. This is the bill that was intended to be part of the 2015 omnibus legislation that funded the rest of the federal government. It is the bill that will enable the Department of Homeland Security to address our nation's current and most pressing security needs. I am pleased that H.R. 861 is co-sponsored by every Democrat in the House, and we urge our Republican colleagues to join us. This bipartisan, bicameral bill will pass the House, pass the Senate, and be signed into law by the President. All it needs is for the Republican leadership to bring the bill to the floor for a vote. Surely, our nation need not experience attacks like those in Paris and Copenhagen before we show our resolve to fund our Department of Homeland Security. Let us not wait around and hope Senate Republicans do the responsible thing. House Republicans should lead by bringing H.R. 861 for a vote and making it clear to the American people that our nation's security takes priority over political and unrelated policy debates. Failure to do so and letting funding for Homeland Security to expire, or taking the easy way out by kicking a viable solution down the road with a continuing resolution, represents a failure in fulfilling our most basic responsibility as members of Congress to protect the American people and our country from harm. Let's pass H.R. 861 today. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from North Carolina, Ms. Fox, for 5 minutes.